to my friends from Goodfellas TV, from Alexis Too Sexy Salazar.
All right, man. Canelo said he thought he won. He said he thought Bivol won 4 or 5 rounds at the most. Now, I've been watching some post fight interviews. I mean, Ingus Klimov, I interviewed him in Vegas before. He's the manager of Lomachenko and Usyk and a lot of the Ukrainian fighters. All right. He said that he had it 9. He said he had it 9-3. Sergio Moore said he had like 10-2 or 9-3 at the most. I just eyeballed it. I watched it. I watched it this morning. I eyeballed it like 9-3. I mean, then the official judge cards, my boy Latik, he sent it to me, man. And you can go check his channel out real quick, man. He getting it together. Hold on. I'm getting it together. Subscribe to the brother channel, man. If I can find it. They don't be bringing up the right channels, man. But shout out to my boy Latik, man. Doing a great job, bro. Damn, search engine suck. But nonetheless, man, I'll pull it up in a minute. Hold on. I'll bring it up in a minute, but nonetheless, no way he won that fight. And it can just be the fact that he just used to being spoiled. That's it. That can be what it is. He just used to being spoiled. He used to the judging going his way. And that's what he used to. You know, when you spoil a kid and get away with something, keep getting away with something, somebody step in and they no longer get away with it. They're like, oh, what are you doing? They start breaking out, having tantrums. They don't understand why. I've been doing this, for a long time. Why are we stopping now? But Canelo lost straight up and down. And before I pull up the official scorecards, he says that, maybe I lost 4 or 5 rounds to Bivol, but I definitely didn't lose. Like, dude, you didn't even win 4 or 5 rounds. The most I had you winning 3. He said, personally, hold on. He said, personally, I'm feeling good. Not giving any excuses. Alvarez said, according to his translator, I do feel that I won the fight. And I think perhaps, maybe I lost 4 or 5 rounds, but I didn't lose the fight. All right, you didn't win 4 or 5 rounds. He says, Judge Tim, I'm gonna pull up that card in a minute. I'm gonna pull up there. He said, I think I got a little bit tired towards the end of the final rounds, but it felt good. But he always used to get tired, especially at 54. Even in the first Canelo fight, he got tired. Even, in the catchweight fight against Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., he got tired. You know what I'm saying? And if you even watch the Caleb Plant fight and the Billy Joe Saunders fight, it just kind of feel like he was pacing himself so he wouldn't get tired. And that's what it felt like. He was pacing himself where he couldn't get tired. In the night he couldn't pace himself versus Bivol. He couldn't control. That's one thing we're not talking about. He couldn't control the pace. And Bivol controlled the pace. And Bivol, was the boss in there. And he said, so we'll see what's next. As I said, I don't feel like I lost the fight. Maybe some rounds, maybe, the weight was a slight issue. It made me feel not 100%. But what about the Kovalev fight? But we all know what Kovalev did. He said, I think I'm always going out looking for difficult fights. Alvarez said, I went up and looked for a difficult fight, but naturally I feel good at 68. I'm always up for taking new challenges. But that's boxing. Tonight I wasn't looking for greatness. So my thing is, like, if he was really looking for a challenge, you would have fought Better BF. And we already know it wouldn't have been Better BF wouldn't have left it to the judges. That's what we knew. We knew Better BF wouldn't left it to the judges. We knew that. You would have been knocked out right around. You probably wouldn't have made as far as Marcus Brown. And people really would have been saying, are you out your prime? Because Sergio Amara started to ask, he asked him, what you think Canelo started to get his prime? He said he thought it was the weight, but he got a lot of wear and tear on his body. So, I talk about, is he out his prime? But, Sometimes you just you hit your limitation, and that's it. Sometimes you hit your limitation. Her and Bivol rematch clause ultimately is up to this. So shit. Let me see if we get the cards. Here we go. So one thing about this fight that you will notice, these scorecards are identical. Now during the telecast, I believe Chris Minix and Sergio Morris said that this was the platinum standard for boxing judging. So Tim Cheatherman, Dave Moretti, Steve Weisfeld, all they all really should be. They should never judge another fight again. I said it. I don't care what type of reputation they got. If they're the platinum standard in boxing, we need to set a new standard. We need to set an honest standard. And they bare minimum should be suspended for a whole year without judging another fight. I don't care if they just got it right. Because look, they had this man, and Bivol was the red corner. They had this man losing the first 4 rounds. How? How did he lose the first 4 rounds? Look, on every scorecard, he lets 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Same here. 1, 2, 3. He lost the first four rounds. Right? No way. And I understand that their experience is different than ours. We watching it with angles and TVs and stuff, and they watching the ringside. Then they had Bivol. Look, they're all the same. They had Bivol winning 5, 6, 7, 8. They had them winning 5 through 8. Same here for Dave Moretti. 5 through 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 through 8. They all had him losing the 9th round, which is comical. Then they had him winning the back 3. And you think about it, bro. This man literally won 1, 2, 3, 4 rounds in a row. And he won the championship rounds 10, 11, 12. And he still only won by 2 points. They probably could have found a round in there to say it was even, especially early on. So, like I said, this is criminal. That man, everybody had that man. And same people who had one angle like Ingus Klimov, television person that had, a couple angles like Steve Sergio Mora, and people watching at home. Anybody could see that. One angle, 10 angles, 3 angles. No, that was 9-3, honestly. 8-4 if you really want to cap for Canelo. That was 9-3. 9-3 for Bivol. And they scorecards are identical. You got to remember, they all sitting at 3 different angles ringside. They sitting at 3 different angles. Think about that. They sitting at 3 different angles. They sitting at 3 different angles, and all of a sudden they got the same scorecard. Like, come on, get out of here, man. Them scorecards was already set in there, and they seen that they probably was gonna get banned or fired for putting in these putting the scores in for Canelo. They said, you know what? Let's kind of like redo our scorecards and save face. No way Canelo won that fight. I don't care what he said. And he said, well, I'm gonna make excuses, but my buddy, I'm surprised he didn't blame being vegan. All that meat excuse was going to handle. Because Justin Muscascale brought it back up during the telecast, and I forgot about it. Bernard always tell those fighters never go vegan. He always tell them don't go vegan. It's not for fighters. But like I said before, them judges should be banned. I don't care how long they've been judging. They should be suspended for a whole year. And you want to know this was wrong with boxing. If you don't think the Canelo robbery theory is real, and you ain't already down 3 or 4 rounds before you get in the ring, look at this. All 3 scorecards. Bivol literally came back from 0-4 to beat Canelo. He literally came back from. He literally had to fight the perfect fight to win by 2 points. He really won 9-3. So even if you outpoint Canelo 9-3, it's a 115 or 13 card. You got to come from behind. I'm surprised they ain't trying to implement open scoring. If they did, Bivol probably would have got the knockout. If we being real, if they had open scoring, we probably would have went more for the knockout versus Canelo. And Canelo couldn't even hurt that man. You know why? Because he could, even though they had a rehydration clause, I don't care what they say. I heard that before when that fight first was on. That Bivol was young enough and he was ideal for the weight to overcome. Don't put no rehydration clause on him next time. Let him come in when he want to come in. and Canelo career be ended. He'll be knocked out. He'll be a pinata for everybody around. Talking about he ain't, he always challenged for great. Like, bro, you just fought Rocky Fielding, bro. Callum Smith. That shit ain't greatness. Caleb Plant. I understand you had to get undisputed. That's greatness, but come on, get up out of here. 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 Get up out of here, man. And Steve Whitefield, Dave Moretti, you know what I'm saying? Who was the other one? Tim Cheatham, man, they need to be banned. They really should be banned for boxing. They really should be banned for boxing. And then, talking about Canelo while it's prime, I can't say that. I can't say that about Canelo. That's one fight. He moved up for the guy who he couldn't drain, even if he did put a rehydration clause on him, which I heard he did. He couldn't drain him. Remember, Bivol was saying years ago that he'd come all the way down to 68 to fight him. He could have fought Bivol at 68 for the 68 undisputed and for his WBA title. But he knew he wasn't no pushover. And Canelo 31 years old. So, I mean, he do got 60 fights. Let me see. Yeah, he got over 60 fights. He got 61 fights. So, been boxing professionally since he was 15. I mean, just think he went up one. I think he went up one weight class. He had Kovalev turn around fast after the Anthony Yard pounding that Kovalev took. Then Kovalev was drained too, and then rumors that he was supposed to take a dive. Kovalev kind of wanted to, kind of was giving the rumors validity subliminally. He still was losing to a drained Kovalev. So Bivol came in there and he wasn't drained. He couldn't drain Bivol. Bivol beat him upside his head. And that's why he picked Bivol over Benavidez, over Errol Spence, over Jamal Charlo. He didn't pick Bivol because Bivol was tougher than them dudes. He thought Bivol was lesser than them. And Bivol's last few opponents, few performances, he didn't see what he saw. So I mean, it is what it is. Maybe he wanted to work back with Eddie, and Bivol won. Bivol should be allowed to go chase greatness versus better BF. He should be allowed to go chase greatness. And then come back and fight the winner. I'm gonna talk about better BF and Bivol tomorrow. Let Bivol have his day. Hopefully celebrate. Get a couple chicks around. Whatever he indulge in, eating, drinking, whatever he doing. But you gonna know Canelo gonna try to turn around and fight you. He gonna turn around and try to fight you on a quick turnaround or something like that. So stay on your P's and Q's. So, but no, I don't think he out his prime now. But if one thing, he got to go back down. And Canelo bulked up. Kobe had tagged me on something on Twitter that showed that he was punching the aqua bag. I think it was. He looked a little bit too bulky. I think he bulked up. And Kovalev ain't the fastest light heavyweight, even especially at the end of his light heavyweight reign. He wasn't the fastest. Bivol was fast, so I think he just underestimated stuff. I think he moved up wrong. I don't know what the exact weight was, but I think he bulked up too much. If you're gonna put the bulk on Canelo, your advantage over Bivol is supposed to be speed. Your legs ain't the fastest legs, so he should have put them bulk on his legs, and kept his upper body sleek and silvery. So there was some mistakes he made in putting on the weight. You come in, you don't put that weight up top. He was too slow. And part of his punching power comes from him winding up and the velocity he get from winding up. And when he put that extra weight back on, he just too slow. He's too slow. He bulked up too much. Next time, I say cut down. We're going to put the weight on the legs, thighs, the glutes, the calves, the hamstrings, everything. We're going to put the weight there. You know what I'm saying? We're going to remain sleek up top. We're going to lift light up top. We're going to do calisthenics up top. When we do calisthenics, we're going to go down slow, explode up. We're gonna work on explosion, and we're gonna work on speed. Because his feet ain't shit regardless. You can put the weight on his legs. His feet ain't shit regardless. So the power in his legs gonna help him take shots and all that. But he put on too much weight too. And then I really want to make Canelo an excuse for Canelo. We put on too much weight. Put it wrong. He put the weight on wrong. He was slow last night and he couldn't hurt him. And part of his power comes from his velocity. He wasn't explosive last night, but he definitely didn't win. I just think he made a mistake and moved up wrong. So, question is, when you go down to 68, you're gonna really know where he at his wear and tear at 75. I think he should do something different as far as strength and conditioning. So, yeah, I think he should do something. I think he should put the weight on his legs and remain lean up top and keep his speed. That's your advantage when you're moving up, is your speed. And last night he was way slower than Bivol, but could Bivol step it up the next fight? Absolutely. Absolutely, he can build on what he done. I don't think he threw one real right hand in this fight. I don't think he really threw one real hard right hand. And I think that was by design. He just wanted to touch him. I think throwing a hard right hand, he wanted to get out of position. And when he threw one hard, when he throw a right hand, Canelo said he wasn't hurt. He gonna get hurt by that right hand. Tell him, he's gonna get hurt by that right hand. But I said I don't think Canelo out his prime. But if he do make the move back down to 68, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting to see how he deal with the weight cut. He said he more natural 68. Can he get back down there? At 30, 31, 32, your body starts to change. Your bone density started to change. That's why you see most bodybuilders, I say this all the time, they become in their prime at 30, in their late 30s, in their late 30s. That's their prime, early 40s. So he'd be 32 in July. So we'll see. He said he's gonna play some golf. And I think he said it ain't concrete. He gonna rematch Bivol right away. Gonna sit down with Eddie and talk about it. So it is what it is. Let me know what you girls and guys think. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button, it's the bell icon button. Hit all notifications. Increase your chance, get notifications. We go live and drop a video. Financially, you want to support the channel? Cash App $ CJ Good 313. Venmo CJ Good 313. PayPal link in the description. Check out the Box News playlist. Financially, want to support me? Cash App $ CJ Good 313. Venmo CJ Good 313. PayPal link in the description. Hit my link tree, link in the description. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, all there. It's the first in the description. Find me everywhere. Peace.